Now, many of you have expressed frustration with entering quizzes into the Moodle quiz maker because it can be quite tedious to keep clicking back and forth through the different windows in order to enter your questions. So in this video, I'm going to show you how you can create your quiz in Microsoft Word so that it can be exported directly into Moodle without having to type or copy and paste the questions into the Moodle quiz maker. So most of you, when you make quizzes in a word processing platform, do it similar to how I've made this quiz here. So the questions are numbered and the answers are in a numbered list. The unfortunate thing is that as done here, this cannot be exported to Moodle. So we're going to look at how we can create a word processing file that can be imported directly into Moodle. And it involves creating a file using the GIF format. The GIF format basically is a set of codes that allow a quiz or a learning management system to recognize questions written in a text file. So the first thing is that it allows you to separate your questions into categories. And I'm going to use two categories, the first of which is going to be population. In order to write to create my category title, I use $ and then the word category, all caps, and then a colon, and then I can type in my category. Then I have to leave at least one space before I start my new question. Now, in order to start my new question, I use 2 semicolons. Then I type the question name, and I'm going to call that pop Q1, another 2 semicolons, and then I can go ahead and type the question name. And type the question. What do we call the study of population? Now, for the answers, we always start the answers with curly braces, like that. And the correct answer is preceded by an equal sign. And incorrect answers are preceded by the Spanish tilde. When I'm finished, I put another curly brackets, and then I leave another line, and I can start a new question. So I'm going to do my second population question. Two colons again. Let's see. It's the most populous continent. That's a good one, nice and simple. Again, start my answers with curly brackets. I always use the first question as the correct answer, and the first answer is the correct answer. Remember that they will be shuffled in Moodle. So Asia, and then I use a tilde for the incorrect. And then close with the curly brackets again. So it's not only multiple choice questions that we can do with this format. You can also use true-false questions. With a true-false question, instead of putting the multiple answers, we just would put T or F, depending on what the statement is. So I'm going to let this be pop Q3. Asia is the largest continent in the world. And the answer is true. So I'm just going to go and then leave another space for the next question. Now, I'm going to start my new category. So now I'm going to type the $ all caps category, and this new category is going to be migration. Again, I leave a space, and now I'm going to look at another type of question. I'm going to look at a fill in the blanks question. And so this is I'm going to give this question the name migration Q1, 2 colons, and the question is going to be migration into a country is known as, open the curly brackets, immigration, close the curly brackets, and that will be a fill in the blanks question. Note that for that fill in the blanks question, if you wanted to ensure that they were allowed to do spelling errors as well, you could put another correct answer. Those two would be sufficient for me. So that's a fill in the blanks type question. Another type of question you could do would be a matching question. And the matching question is a little different, but again, it always uses the curly brackets to indicate the start and the end of the question. So this is going to be my migration question 2. Match the terms to the definitions. Again, I start with the curly brackets. Now for this, we start with an equal sign, and I'm going to say immigration. Then you use a dash and a greater than sign, in other words, an arrow. Immigration matches with migration out of a territory equals immigration dash greater than migration into a territory internal migration or I should say movement of people from one part of a territory to another. And so I'm just going to leave it with those questions. There are many, many other types of questions that you could use, and I'm going to give you a template file that contains all the various different types. But these are some common types of questions that people make up, and I hope that this helps you out. I find that typing using the GIF format is much quicker than typing it into the Moodle template. And so once you finish typing up your quiz in the word processor, you just go to File, Export or Download As, and then go to Plain Text. And I'm going to call this my trial geography quiz. And I'm going to click Save. And before yep, everything looks good so far. And so I have my file down here. Now I'm just going to go and test it in Moodle to make sure it works. So I'm going to go into one of my Moodle courses. And I am going to go down to the temp course. And I'm going to go over to the test bank, and you can access the test bank by using the cogwheel up here, clicking it, scroll all the way down to the bottom and click More. You'll be taken to the course administration screen, and then you can scroll again to the bottom of that, and then you get the question bank. You can then just click on Import, and it asks you which type of question you want to import. We want to import a gift format question. And so I want my file to get dropped here. I'm just going to drag it straight from the download window. It will upload it there, and then I'm going to click import. Now Moodle is going to check to make sure that the questions are correct. They're saying they're okay, so I just go continue. The questions are uploaded, and you can now see the questions in migration. I can see the questions in population there, and they've imported correctly. If I want to just go and preview them, I can just go and check. Yeah, looks correct. Now if I want to go back and check the matching one, I'll see if that one came out correctly. Yes. Yeah, came out quite nicely, thank you. And then finally, I'm going to check the missing word one, see if that came out correctly. Good, yeah. And so I would have to type in immigration. And then I would submit and finish. That's what the student would have to do. Correct answer is immigration. So yeah, these questions imported nicely. And so that's how you can create a test in Microsoft Word and import it directly into Moodle. I hope this helps.